Last time on the Titans of Altera.
Galantis had one piece of parchment on him.
We saw those symbols were in the ruins as well.
That star symbol is used in all manner of places and locations.
Wait, this is why we have different meanings for these words.
Because they mean different things from different perspectives.
Yeah.
There is one, the foremost expert on the forebears and their script. He believed that some of the human tribes might have oral traditions that predate the Four Kingdoms and perhaps even the Garden.
The reason we're out here, that we're on our quest, is because we're fighting creatures we've never seen before.
How could we believe in such things?
I call my goat.
You call your goat?
Which means she goes glowy and floaty.
Whoa, so
Exactly.
right,
Mic drop!
a massive golem goat bursts through the trees,
It's a very Hulk move.
and
Joan saves the day again.
Evervine is still underhoof at this point. Hello everyone and welcome to the Titans of Altera, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play for gamers of all ages. I'm your host and Dungeon Master Joshua. Going around the table, we have
Joan.
Duffin.
Winnie.
Relnor.
Awesome. Everybody's here. We're going to jump right into it. So, you are all at the sacred place. Joan is still kind of outside of her golem
Trance.
in her kind of trance form, operating the golem, which currently has...
She stepped on a monkey.
Yeah, and turned it back into
Well, gorilla,
Evervine.
to be specific.
So,
Yeah.
they're all primates.
This has been biology
yeah.
with the Titans of Altera.
So you guys are currently kind of
Primatology.
all there. Evervine is just sitting there with just this giant shocked look on his face, sitting underneath this giant golem.
He's got the wind knocked out of him.
Got the wind knocked out of him, but he's just he's not moving to do anything. He seems completely frozen. Do any of you say anything? It just in this instant.
When he goes, woo!
I knew it!
Greytree stands up and kind of exclaims something in his native language.
And Greytree is the father of
River Mist.
River Mist, yes.
Yep. Red-haired old guy. He steps towards Joan. Then you hear Darkstar kind of whisper under her breath, "True." And you see a tear kind of like go down her cheek. Greytree steps forward, his eyes just totally focused on the golem, and then back on Joan. Then he looks back at the three of you who are kind of conscious in your own bodies. And he says, "Do you understand what you've done this day?"
Stomped a monkey. Beat a bug. Killed a snake? Did we kill the snake?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I killed it.
Wolf kind of like sees what Greytree's doing, and he kind of makes a soft protest, but kind of Darkstar kind of puts a hand on his shoulder, and he sits back and just looks confused. And then Greytree continues. He says, "Here, as the light rises," and he points to the east, where the sun is just cresting over the top of trees, and your guys is kind of this kind of like little clearing where the meeting place is. He says, "A young Urden, glowing as the sky," and he kind of gestures to then Joan, who's floating in front of everyone. And then he says,
What, do we fill a prophecy?
Yep.
"Takes hold of the earth,"
Fulfill.
and he walks towards the golem made of stone.
Fulfill.
"Meets the light at the sacred place," and he gestures back towards everyone. Then he steps to the side of the golem, and he continues saying this last statement as he walks backwards into the shadow next to the golem, and he says, "And brings the shade." And you just hear this kind of gasp amongst all of the Urden
Oh, bad prophecy.
as he fulfills this prophecy. And then Wolf
Excuse me. I'm fulfilling the prophecy.
Yeah.
He's just
Specifically,
reciting it.
but Wolf, kind of sitting there in his kind of dour state, looking down, kind of almost like he's not looking at anything. His eyes kind of almost glazed over, says, "Never before has an Urden leader spoken these words aloud to any outsiders other than the four leaders. But it is true. You are the Shadowbringers,
That sounds so cool.
the masters of shade. And he looks up at the four of you kind of standing at the kind of front of all of this.
Masters of what? Did you
At
say?
that,
Oh,
all,
shade.
all of the Urden present fall to their knees.
Oh, we're gods.
Bug, River Mist, even Dyer after he's kind of gotten himself up.
I want to be the green god.
Winnie falls to her knees too, because she doesn't understand what's going on. I would, but I can't. So I won't. And then
Dark-
she kind of looks around and like, and gets back up.
And then Darkstar raises her head, tears flowing freely from her eyes, and she says, "We are here to serve. You will make all the Urden true."
And true means family, right? No,
Yeah.
Like unity.
unity. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So yeah, the idea is that the little prophecy
We will
that
unite
that
the southern
Dyer was
tribes.
trying to activate himself, you guys have actually fulfilled.
Whoa!
So they
Winnie goes,
they believe, and this is a prophecy that's been handed down just through oral tradition. They have no written text, and I think if you guys remember,
it's pretty on the nose.
everybody roll me a history check real quick.
you and me, even though I'm in a trance.
Yeah, you're still there cognitively, like in the goat. You're experiencing all of this as well.
14.
Modified 20.
11.
21.
Okay, everyone but Dalphin
21.
remembers that
Everyone but Dolphin.
Dalvin's just like, wow.
That's like the theme of this entire
Hey,
side quest.
you don't read.
Episode title.
You
everyone
don't
but
read.
I
Dalphin.
read it all the time. We've been over this. I read.
Anyway,
No, you don't.
everyone but Dalphin.
Tell me what I do.
Everyone but Dalphin remembers that when you guys were in
Oral
the
tradition.
the Grey Temple in Lestrade,
Yep.
one of the things that you remember Davi specifically saying was that there were clerics who had traveled to work amongst the Urden people to try and learn about their histories because they suspect that those oral histories date back even further than the garden.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
So yeah, that's that. You guys are here in this moment. What do you do? All of the Urden are kind of prostrating themselves before you. They say they're here to serve.
What do we do?
Our first order of business as gods, you will now be friends, and they can get married.
I imagine you like standing on the
On the table with my
agent.
arms on my hips, my hands on my hips. Our first decree is that you are now true.
I'm going to pick Delphin up by the collar and set him down on the ground next to us, up off the table.
Pretty good first decree for a god.
For something.
We're not gods.
You don't know that.
I
Pretty
checked this
sure.
morning. We're not gods.
Darkstar shakes her head and says, "We know you're not gods.
Oh.
Good.
Winnie pats Dolphin.
Shatter that dream real quick.
You're people, just as we are."
Can you come back to the negotiation table and talk about peace between your peoples?
Should we lock up the monkey man first?
He's
under
pinned.
my
He's
hut.
good.
Oh, okay, cool.
Grey Tree turns. He steps forward towards the group and he says, "There is more to the prophecy. This is not the end. From what we know, if you are truly the
Shadow bringers.
the bringers of shade,
Bringers of shade.
then there is only a limited amount of time that we have to bring all the Urden together."
That's kind of what Relnor was trying to tell you earlier.
What do you know?
Relnor just got real smug.
If he could turn himself blue and glowy, we would have listened to him.
Shots fired.
That's true. He doesn't even have an Artemis yet, which neither do I.
The person who's blue and glowy can't transform out of it, so they're going to have to listen to him.
Looking at Relnor specifically, he says, "What is it you're seeking?"
The
Goats.
four of us all had visions that showed various places. Joan's was through the eyes of her golem. So
It's echoing.
there's actually a
impression of
goat up here. That wasn't anybody. There's a goat.
Just walks by
Thank
the
you.
clearing.
I am the goat. Greatest of all time. Move over, LeBron.
It's possible that what we saw, what the other three of us saw, were also through golems. So we're trying to get to those locations. At a minimum, even if there aren't golems, there's something important with those places linked to Joan's golem. There's something of importance there. So we're journeying to these three places that we've seen, trying to find answers.
Wolf, after you say that, he goes, "They're seeking the forms of power."
I mean, yes, we are seeking the forms of
That
power.
sounds pretty on.
He kind of like nods his head like
Joan, write it down.
he knows
She's in a trance.
he knows what's going on. I mean, she's in a trance, but she's
Joan,
technically
remember.
like
Joan, remember this.
she hears everything.
I'll re-listen to the episode later and then I'll write it down.
Yeah, we all have perfect memory.
I mean, the episode will be available for everyone to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have a notebook.
And then Grey Tree says, "Ah, that is what you seek then. Well, where is the next form?"
Desert, maybe? And one is in a cave. Half in a cave. Right?
Yes.
The desert.
And one is by the Crystal City.
Did you say there's one in the desert?
I think so.
Yes.
And that is perhaps why you've come below the river.
Yes.
Yes.
Our plan was to go there first and then work our way north.
But when we heard there was a cave with some mischief, we thought maybe that might be the cave we're looking for. It wasn't, but it
was
was still
not.
a fun cave.
I don't have fun.
I had a great time.
Okay.
I have
You
the
will not-
stars to prove it.
You will not be able to enter the desert
Why not?
because of Urden the Falhammer.
Ah, another DM mechanic.
Has Dolphin heard of this guy before?
No.
He's new then to the area.
Who is
Or
Urden?
you just never heard of him when you were passing
That's
through.
true.
Who is Urden Valhammer?
Is it another human?
Urden the Fellhammer.
Thank you.
Fell hammer.
He's an orc leader. He has united all of the orc tribes
All of them?
all across the desert.
Whoa.
They are planning to take their forces north, but we don't know when.
That's quite a feat.
Why are they planning to go north?
Conquest.
Because the
Obviously.
orc believe that they are owed the world, and they will take it if they can. Supposedly, the last numbers I heard, this is still Grey Tree, was that he was amassing an army of more than 100,000 orcs.
Whoa. Whoa.
Dalvin, does that jive with your orc
Dude,
knowledge?
they might be able to do it with that number.
That's what he's saying. He goes,
Yes.
he goes, we've known that the Urden need to unite to face them, but we have not known how to bring ourselves together. Now, with the four of you seeking the true forms, the Masters of Shade can take us south to the World Bridge.
What's that? That sounds cool
It
too.
sounds super cool.
Exposition Urden walks over and says,
Exposition Urden.
Bug kind of speaks up. He's been pretty quiet this whole time.
Oh, Bug
Bug.
talked. No, I'm just kidding.
And he says,
Bug speak.
the World Bridge is this gap between the plains and the oceans of sand.
Oh, like a rift?
It is the border between the men and the orcs.
And there's a bridge?
No.
Oh.
Just metaphorical bridge.
That, like, dead land where nothing can grow is the World Bridge.
Oh, so it's not an
That's-
actual like, drop off.
Nice callback. But
Kelsey.
is there a ferry?
I mean,
Poor Eric.
there is a character who's glowing and floating.
There's a penny.
There's a penny too.
I don't think we can ride her though, so I think
Yet.
nope. Valid.
So basically,
penny goat.
the World Bridge pretty much makes it that any force coming from the south is going to be seen. There's no real way to hide or sneak.
Right.
So
that
if you're
100,000
coming,
orcs.
you better be coming strong.
Yeah.
I see.
It's why there haven't been a lot of. There's nothing more than raiding parties that come north.
Yeah.
From like small raiding parties.
Oh,
So
Dude, that's awesome. Maybe Bordeaux wasn't like cool with that. That's why he like couldn't go home.
who knows? Maybe during this storyline we'll find out.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh, let's run to Bordeaux again.
Let's run the border again.
So Wolf speaks up. He says, "We'll need to unite the tribes."
Oh boy, that sounds awesome.
True. Do they have any prophecies about people glowing blue? Because it seemed to work with negotiations and uniting them this time. True.
It will be different for
I'm
this.
not here. You can't speak to me.
You can say that outside.
You're there.
like from your
Do
goal.
the goat? Oh.
Yeah, you're talking through the goats.
Okay. Yeah, I said that.
Okay.
What she said. Ditto.
And actually, like when you say it, your mouth moves of your physical body, but the sound comes from.
Oh. Like the megaphone sound that makes
Oh,
so legit.
that's like ventriloquism.
Yeah.
Dolphin, sit.
What? Ventriloquism? What?
Because it's loud and booming. I wanted to see if he listened.
Oh, I was like, no. I don't understand.
Understand.
But our time is short. If we are to unite the tribes and meet Orang and his forces by the world bridge in time, I don't know that we can show them all the glowing form of power.
Do you know where any other forms are? Legends? Statues?
We know not.
Goats.
Durgit.
Caves.
But if the four of you were to just make your way south across the world bridge, you wouldn't last long.
All right, so we got to go to the next. We'll just keep Katamariing the villages, right?
Darkstar's perception, she says, I think we need to split up.
Huh?
If
That worked
we're-
well last time.
If we're to gather all of the Urden and meet his forces at the world bridge in time, then we'll each need to go and collect some of the Urden to bring them together.
Okay.
All right. I guess I could go to the Plains people. I've met them before.
Yeah, the Jordan.
You know the Jor Urden.
I spend a little bit of time with them.
Do they like
I wouldn't
you?
say we're like best buddies.
Do they like you?
I think so.
Great tree.
Does anybody not like Dolphin?
They didn't kick me out.
Don't ask questions. You
Great
don't
tree
want
kind of harumps. He says, the Joro Urden will be hard to sell. They're not a war tribe.
This is true.
They are the hand.
But if anybody could do it, I can. I also come from a people that are not of war. But I enjoy a good fight.
There's also the Stur Urden Stree.
Ooh, warriors.
They are the horse people of
Oh,
the
horse
plains.
people.
They're the least in number, but a Stur Urden.
But they have the most feet.
A Stur Urden in war is worth 10 on the ground.
Horses.
Yep, I got your joke. It was good.
Darkstar looks at Joan's statue and she says, the Stur Urden will require a lot of convincing. Most likely, in order to get them to join, you'd need to dethrone their leader
Oh, I want to go.
in combat.
Oh, man, I want to do that one.
But if you show up with the form of power, I don't see them being able to take any move against you.
I think that means I'm going.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I don't know if you could.
No, hey, what do you mean don't know if I could definitely do it, but I think it'd be fun for you as a goat. Yeah, it'd be cool.
It'd be fun for me.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Dyer kind of goes, the Oro Urden.
So many Urden.
And
Are they a Stru or a T?
Gotta collect them all. Gotta catch them all. I don't
Wolf shakes his head. He says, they aren't really the Urden.
know. What are
They're
they?
half Urden,
Oh, and half Orcan.
half Orc.
Oro.
They've a city further to the southeast.
They're definitely Stew
the
then.
southwest.
Stew?
Stru. Stree.
Stree.
Stree. They're definitely Stree. If they're half Orc, I would assume.
We have trading rights with them. They have a strong force, but I don't know that they would want to march against the Orcs or Orang.
Right.
Who wants to take that job?
Joan puts the other hoof on the goat's nose.
The goat's useless nose.
Sorry, I can't smell check like you can.
Greytree says, I will gather our forces. We have at least 30,000 of the Fire Urden across the forest. It will take time, but I will gather them and bring them to the World Bridge.
All right.
But
They don't
Rivermist,
want to take their crazy Psycho Jafar with them?
I guess Bug goes over.
Yeah,
and
will someone take this ape,
Like-
please?
locks him in his arm, and they're like, we will deal with Evervine.
Oh, you gonna get bugged, son?
And then Rivermist stays back You're gonna get bugged. That's pretty good. This is the only time where a bug does the squishing.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
I
Sorry.
thought it was very clever.
Greytree,
Very clever.
Greytree turns and goes, "Daughter, what are you waiting for?" And she says,
Marriage.
"I think that Dyer and I should go to the Urden.
Ooh, which one's the Urden?
Half works.
Oh.
I can speak your common tongue, and Dyer has experience working with the Urden.
Common tongue.
And they might be
surprised.
surprised to see you two working together. That might mean something.
True.
Delphin has a good point. Shows you two tribes are working together.
Greytree, he doesn't look very pleased still at the idea of the two of them like being united.
What an apt name. He's so immovable.
He says, "Fine, but I'll see you two at the World Bridge."
For the wedding. I mean, the war.
And
could do
and
both.
then he turns and heads off. So here's what you guys have. You have the half-orcs, the horse people, and then the Urden, which are the not really fighters. They're mostly farmers and shepherds.
Yeah.
The reason that they don't have to be fighters is because they got good trading deals with all the other
Yeah,
Urden
they have
tribes.
everything that all the fighters need.
They're
So,
gonna win
yeah.
Settlers of Catan.
And the fighters know if they take them out,
Yeah.
they're going to lose all that.
So even
all that
though
resource.
they probably have a number that could bring the Urden's numbers up to the level of the orcs, they're very unlikely to want to fight. And if they do fight, they're going to be very like undermatched because they have no military training. They have no kind of like combat.
they're just
expertise.
raw oomph. Just pitchforks,
And
farmers and
then
pitchforks.
there's the half orcs. So if I understand, you guys mentioned Dalphin going to the Joro.
I just said that I've met them before, and
Okay.
I get the growy people.
At this point, the Urden just kind of look to you guys, be like, "So what is the plan?"
Captain,
The captain doesn't like splitting the party.
It's okay. You guys
I mean,
can
it
all
didn't go
stick
poorly
together,
last
and
time.
the 100,000 orcs can march across the world bridge
I don't know
unchallenged.
if we have a choice. If you want to gather the Urden in time,
Okay.
besides, we're not going to be fighting. We're just going to meet people. Hi.
Plus,
going to fight.
Yeah, and a goat. We're going to fight an orc and a goat. They'll be fine.
plus, I mean, Joan has the goat, so whoever's with her can make it places pretty quickly compared to whoever doesn't.
True.
We have 3 places we need to go.
Yep, 3 places, 4 people. So we have 2 to go to one place or 1 stay here.
Winnie speaks up and she goes over to Dyer and like pulls a little like I don't know tool, one of her tinker tools out of her her pouch, and she goes, "Hey Dyer, when you've been with the half-orcs, have you seen this symbol anywhere?" And she draws a circle in the dirt, and then 2 lines, one on the left and one on the right of the circle.
Brilliant. I totally forgot about this.
He looks at it, he goes, "I've seen it."
You have?
Yeah.
Do you know? I mean, this is the well of an orc people, I think.
Well, of an orc people.
Like a symbol that they use to mark their stuff.
There's a stone outside the Iron City.
What's the Iron City?
What is the Iron City?
River Mist says, she speaks up because Dyer's kind of like, "I'm running out of words,
Yeah.
I know."
Winnie's embarrassed that
running out of words.
Winnie's just embarrassed that she doesn't know.
River Mist says,
Pickle.
"That is the city of the Urden."
Oh.
And that was the horse people.
No, the half orc.
Dang it. Okay. What was that horses?
Stir Urden.
Stir Urden, Oro Urden, and Landon Urden.
So imagine like
Landon Urden.
Oro, orc, Urden, people, the orc people.
Orca people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oracle people.
Anywho.
Did I do that?
Because
Winnie jumps up and throws her hands in the air. She goes, "You guys, I think Bordeaux might be with the Oro Urden."
Oh, you should go there.
Okay.
With Joan. With Joan?
With Joan.
Joan's going to the Stir Urden.
Oh, I thought she was going
No,
to
I
Orca.
was going to fight the orc guy.
Yeah,
You
Joan's
don't
gonna-
need to. No, the Stir Urden will be hard to convince because
Horse
they are the most warlike. There are no Stir Urden that aren't Stree.
So they're the fighters. Yeah.
Always fighters.
Okay.
The southeastern land of the plains is their territory.
Okay.
There's a good chance if you're there that they'll find you.
And the Oro Urden are going to be hard to convince because they're half orc.
Darkstar says the Oro Urden are actually quite peaceful. They have fair trading with us, so there probably won't be any war with them, but it might be hard to convince them to come and fight with us against the orcs.
Because they're fighting against half of themselves.
They're the half-orc.
Got you.
Or
But if
What do they
Bordeaux
do?
is there,
So,
then we might be able to get his help.
contextually, yeah,
Yes.
the half-orc city, or the Iron City, is pretty much the route you guys were going when you ran into the watchtower. Pretty much straight south, you'd run into the Iron City after about a week's travel.
Okay.
And that's the Urden.
Yes.
Correct.
They refer to them as the Urden.
And that's where that symbol originated from.
Nope.
Nope, he has just seen it outside
Yeah.
the Iron City.
He doesn't think
okay.
Dyer doesn't see any significance to that
He doesn't
symbol.
know what it means. He just knows he's seen it around.
Because
there.
remember, Bordeaux is a full orc.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the well of his orc people.
Yeah.
So,
Dark Star kind of looks at everyone and she says, "So, the form of power will go to the Urden." She looks at the goat golem.
Makes sense. They got horses. You got a goat.
And
ruminants.
the little man will go to the Joro Urden.
All right, Relnor, I guess that's where you're going. Oh.
Excuse me.
Wait, what?
I mean, you weren't paying attention, so I'm just going to
Sorry.
keep going.
Go for it.
And the
That's
It'll
where
be a
you're
surprise
going.
later.
Ricky was busy making faces to himself.
No, I wasn't. I was asking her a question. I didn't
He
know what
asked
a word
me
meant.
what ruminants was.
And she said it, and she told me what it meant, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good word." That's all that happened.
Meanwhile, you were getting your
creatures.
dossier.
Yes.
All right. She basically just saying, you're going to the Joro,
Yes.
and Winnie's going to the
Oro.
Oro. And then she looks at Runner and she
Oro.
says,
Ooh, ooh.
"So where are you going?"
There's only one left.
Door number 3.
All 3 doors have been opened.
Oh, they have?
Yeah. So to be clear, because I understand there's a lot of names and I want to make sure we keep it clear, Joan
Me.
is going to go to the horse people. Okay, that
That's a
noise is
goat,
terrible,
not
by
a
the
horse.
way.
Yeah, I'm a goat.
I take the audio whenever you make that noise and ram it down.
ram it down. Walked right into it.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
yeah.
I did.
It's a good
I
night
did.
now.
It was the long con. Eric and I have been waiting for that for weeks. Just kidding.
All right.
That's good.
So they're located to the kind of southeast. Dalfin is going south to meet with the Joro Urden.
And they're to the east of.
They're just south. They're
where we are
straight
now.
south. Like
I thought the Iron City was south.
Iron City southwest. I'm trying
Southwest.
to
Okay.
go through it clear here. real quick.
Gotcha. Sorry. Okay.
I love it. You're like, I got it, and then we get to you, and you're like, I don't got it.
So, but you keep everything south.
Yes.
Okay.
You guys are in the forest.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
North of you is the river,
I'm middle. Joan is east
Here's the thing.
and then Winnie's going
Yours-
southwest
Yeah.
along the coast.
along the coast to the Iron
Iron
City.
City.
Yes, where
Okay,
you got
of
mixed
the
up is
half-orcs.
yours is south of us. Winnie's is south of the Ranger
I didn't
Tower.
know where mine was. I just knew
Okay.
they were all
Yes,
south.
yours is straight south.
Cool.
The plains cover
Easy
almost
peasy.
this giant area to the south.
Yeah.
He says,
So you have a lot of ground to cover,
All right.
misrememberingly.
and a lot of people who won't want to join you.
Hey, these legs were made for walking.
Hey, Josh. I got it.
Okay, so then she looks at Relnor and she says, "Where will you go?"
I have no idea. I feel like
Who do you not trust, or who needs the most help?
I need to babysit Delphin,
Oh, and we could make it a buddy trip.
but I don't want to babysit Delphin.
Oh. I would love having a nice little trip with Relnor, my good buddy Relnor, Captain Relnor.
Joan, with you and your goat, do you feel like you're prepared?
Nay.
That's a horse, not a goat.
That's goat for yes.
So I'm going to the horse people. Get it?
I know.
Just like
Nay.
9 is
I know.
German for no.
The horse people do sound like the most difficult to convince because they're
Nay's not
warlike
horse,
and they're
no.
not.
Yes, they're the most
I'm
warlike.
speaking to you, Relnor.
Yes.
The Stir Urden, the horse
Yeah.
people, do seem like the hardest to convince.
Yes.
And you may need some backup when Joan is in a trance in the goat,
Why would you need backup?
That's true too.
Wait, why'd you need backup?
in case she's fighting something.
She'll be in the goat.
Not if we're doing it the way we did here, where they can see her do the true thing, and she's outside the goat. Yeah.
But she doesn't have to do that. She just has to beat their leader.
You
Easy
you,
peasy.
you go to your farming people,
No,
buddy.
that's
No,
it.
she agrees that it will only take defeating their leader to convince them.
That's easy.
okay.
If
She's a goat.
they,
Smash
by
him.
their rules, if you defeat the warrior in charge, you become the warrior.
So that's
So you
actually
can
the
bring a
easiest
knife
one.
to a fist fight and win.
You know what, Relnor? How about you just pick wherever you want to go?
But he isn't. That's why we're giving
Winnie-
him suggestions.
Winnie, do you feel? I'm asking my crew if they feel prepared for
That's very
where they're
kind of you.
going.
I have Dire
Okay.
and River Mist with me.
And Winnie, you feel prepared, and that Dire and River Mist will be adequate to help.
Yeah, I don't foresee having to fight the Oro or Urden to get them to come and help. They might need some convincing, but
Plus, if Bordu's there.
Well, I just want to make sure everyone feels like they're going to be able to handle it because we do seem to be stumbling into a lot of fights.
He's
anyways.
like, I didn't want to split the party.
It's almost as if they were like this overlord who is dictating where we went and making sure that we encountered obstacles that would make us fight along the way.
It's a telephone god.
if you want to come with me, I wouldn't say no, but
Delphin,
I feel okay.
Yes, Captain.
He trusts you the least.
I at attention. Hand to my head.
Are you saying that out loud?
Yep.
You feel
I am.
like a buddy trip, buddy?
Oh man, that's gonna be great. Back to the old dynamic duo, Relnor and Delphin.
Woo!
Guys, trip. We're gonna fart and eat, and it's gonna be great.
Have you not been farting and eating this entire time?
Less than I normally do.
That's very concerning.
One directly affects the other.
I have a very compact digestive system.
Fair enough. So that makes you fart more?
Yeah. It moves very quickly.
It doesn't take long for one thing to reach the other thing.
Nope.
That's how biology works. But okay.
Yeah, I probably got like 100 less feet of intestines, right? Or something like that. I only have 2 small intestines. But
He has a small and an extra small.
Joan, is it too late to go with you?
I jump on
I
Elnor's.
think he's just proving he
Elnor?
needs more.
Elnor
That's your evil twin
Roosevelt.
sister.
I did have. Well, there was one person who tweeted or messaged us and said that Relnor is when Scooby Doo says Eleanor.
Who is the genius that said that? I
don't know.
That's incredible.
I thought we'd already talked about that.
Somebody on
We
Twitter.
may
I had not heard that, but I remember.
Your memory is so
That's
stellar.
why I ended it with that disclaimer.
Wolf, being the gruff man he is, stands up and says, "I'll go to prepare to wash Urden." And then he just turns and walks away. And so you're left there with
Vatis das.
Get your mud on, Wolf.
Get your mutt on.
Kelsey,
on.
do you realize what he just did? He reined us in like
What?
horses.
oh my gosh.
That was a stretch.
That was
That was a huge stretch.
By the way, the Voss Urden do, when they're out in the sun, they do oftentimes cover a lot of their skin with mud because they are a little fair skinned. Because
Yeah.
they are
Like you.
nocturnal.
It's like their war paint too, right?
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator.
Yeah,
Or
like
Josh.
the blue paint that Dyer had was more like a mud colored blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that?
What was
funny?
the giggle for?
A mud-colored blue? You sure wasn't a blue-colored mud?
Actually, it actually makes sense. Depending
It was a
on the
mud, colored blue.
I
My
was gonna say
favorite-
depending on the apostrophe, depending on the punctuation, it actually made sense. That's why I laughed.
My favorite part is this.
All right. Darkstar is just kind of like watching everybody going like, kind of giving the essence that she's like, are we all like good? Is like,
To the farmers.
she says, thank you for bringing the forms of power to our people.
Hey, we're gonna shade it up. Don't you worry.
There is something greater, I think, than even the Orang and his army.
Oh, there is Titans,
Titans.
giant crazy monsters.
Huge.
Creatures like the one from the cave.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, except bigger.
The size of the goat or larger.
Her eyes kind of go wide and she says, I don't think our people are ready for this.
Probably not. But you know what? You're gonna do good.
I will go help prepare our people.
Good job.
She puts an arm on Dyer and she says, and she just says some stuff to him in their language. And he kind of nods. And they have a big hug.
Does she slap him?
No.
Oh,
They have a big hug. She puts a hand on his cheek. Kind of really gently.
Oh,
And then she looks at River Mist and kind of like narrows her eyes.
oh.
And then just nods her head. And River Mist stays super calm, nods her head back. And then
dang.
Darkstar turns and
Oh
leaves.
dang. Future mother-in-law.
Not all mother and daughter-in-law relationships are like that.
No, I know.
So
Shout out to Wendy.
who listens to every
I know.
single episode.
Shout out to Wendy.
Flippin'
Does she
love her.
really?
She does.
Aw.
Yeah.
Say hi, Mama.
Hey, Mama.
Anyway,
I love it.
so yeah, now it's just the 6 of you.
Okay, question.
Answer.
Are you asking us Rono or is this in your IRL?
This is IRL. Did we have a long rest or anything after I was in combat?
Yes, because we
Yes.
spent the night at the
Yeah,
street.
you guys
people.
had a couple long nights.
Okay.
Because
I-
my
I-
sheet
I
has
farted.
hit points missing, and I don't
You just didn't update 'em.
remember why. So,
Because you forgot.
I stabbed you when you weren't looking.
I mean, that's not outside of the
'Cause
realm
you
of
probably
possibilities.
forgot.
In my app, I just hit rest. That does it all for me.
So,
if only going to sleep
yeah,
was that easy.
it's up to you
I know,
guys
right?
to decide when you decide to part ways.
Ronor,
It's morning.
break of dawn.
It is the break of dawn. Like
Let's
you guys
go.
Dawn is broken.
Oh, who broke Dawn?
uh,
Poor Dawn.
Dalphin did because of his
I broke Dawn with
small
my broken
digestive
wind.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Ronor, what do you say? We got a whole day ahead of us. I say we use it to get a moving.
How long of a journey is it to our various destinations?
River Mist, the only person who can speak full common that's left there of the Urden, she says, the Joro are placed all throughout the south. You'll find small tribes, all led by a different Yaller, or old elder leader.
Yaller or a shot caller.
Bouncing off the wall.
They'll be the ones you have to convince to let their people join the war.
All right.
But you'll find several different tribes throughout the south.
War. What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
Absolutely nothing.
Wow. You guys are
High
married.
five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a fun note. But it'll take about from where you guys are at. It'll take you maybe a couple days, probably only a day. But probably by evening, you guys will start to see some of the tribes.
Oh, for realsies? Mm-hmm. Nice. Let's go, Cap.
Winnie, it'll take you guys probably a day to still go through the rest of the forest, and then Joan.
All by myself.
For
In
you,
my giant goat statue.
With Artemis.
it'll honestly probably take you a day to cross
Don't want
to
to
the
be
east plains.
Hey, John.
by myself.
In my giant goat statue.
With Artemis.
What?
Can I get my cot?
You mean your hammock?
Yeah.
If you... I'm not helping you, but yeah, I
Awesome.
mean...
I clump her leg and untie my hammock.
Okay,
My bedroll, and I put it back in my pack.
Okay.
I'm out of trance now, by the way.
Oh, you're out of trance.
Yeah, I want
statue's
to. I want to say goodbye to my friends because I could die. All by
You'll be fine. You got a goat.
myself.
In my giant goat statue.
If any of us are going to die, it's going to be Winnie.
Yeah. Thanks, Dalphin.
No, you'll probably be fine. I'm just saying statistically.
Thanks, Dalphin. Love you too, man.
She's going with 2 other people. You guys
Yeah.
are going together.
I have my penny.
That's true. She does have
Also,
pennies.
Walter.
he rolls a lot of wood.
Statistically, if anyone's going to die, it's going to be Dalphin. It's going to be because I shot him.
If you can. I start bouncing back and forth.
I think he's proven he can.
When he leans
Again.
over and when he leans over to Relner and goes, by accident or on purpose.
Relner goes, yes.
accidentally on purpose. Cool. So you guys are going to all set out on your journeys to the different tribes of the Urden
Oh, yeah.
and try and collect them and meet at the southmost tip of the plains, the World Bridge, to face
Not a
Orung, the Fellhammer's army.
Woo! War!
What is it good for?
Absolutely
Plot
nothing.
Points.
I think that's a good place.
Peter Jackson
I
movies.
think that's a good place to call it. So we'll call this episode. It might be a little short, but the next couple episodes I think will have a lot going on.
I was going to be like, what are we going to call it?
I don't know what we're going to call it. We're going to find out. I did, however, want to quick read something to you guys
Ooh.
that I thought was pretty awesome. And I don't want to save it for the post show. I want to do it for all of our listeners.
Is it a poem?
We got we got this email from a parent whose kids listen to the show. And I think she said her I want to make sure I get it right. Give me 1 second. So Caroline and Kathleen listen together. Kathleen is Caroline's mother. They both listen to the show together. They really enjoy it. Caroline's 11 years old, and she wrote some jokes that she thought that we would enjoy. And so I want to share it
Oh,
with
good.
you
I can
guys.
have a night off.
Okay. You still need to prepare jokes for the post show, but this is for the show. This is for the show itself.
Yeah.
So
Just retelling these.
this one's called the Relnor joke.
Okay.
How do you get out of a room with no windows or doors?
Hold on. Can I guess?
Sure.
I don't know.
I didn't finish the setup. The only thing is there's a guard.
You roll.
How do you get out?
You roll a 1.
You show the guard your crossbow.
It does get you in anywhere.
That's awesome.
All about it.
Winnie joke.
Okay.
What are the horses' favorite person?
Winnie.
Winnie. That's pretty good.
I totally just peaked my audio. I'm really sorry.
That's okay. Dolphin joke.
Oh, yes.
What's Dolphin's favorite instrument?
A rock.
A keyboard?
The bass drum, because it goes boom boom.
I love it.
All about it.
Joan joke.
drum.
What song does Joan like to sing while she is driving the stone goat?
All by myself.
That's relevant. I don't know. What is it?
Rock Monster from VeggieTales, the pirates who don't do anything.
Oh, that's
music
incredible.
genius.
Oh man, I love
Please
some
sing
veggie. Love me some
VeggieTales.
And then
VeggieTales.
she tells us that she also plays D&D. She plays a halfling thief who's
Cool.
9 years old and is
Cool.
chaotic neutral.
Whoa!
So Caroline and Kathleen, thank you guys so much for
Go
listening.
get them.
These kind of messages seriously make my day, and I just wanted to let you guys know, as much as you are enjoying listening to the show, it means so much to us that you're listening.
Totally. And as we always say, the family that games together, glames together.
What?
Maims, tames.
Games together. They're family that games.
Claims.
So that's
What
going to be
rhymes with
it
games?
for this week's
Blames.
episode.
Blames.
Thanks to everyone for listening.
Thanks.
You can always DM me on Twitter or Facebook at the Titan Pod. But we also have an email. I don't know if I've ever actually given my email on the iTunes or like the podcast feed before. So the email you can contact is thetitanpod@gmail.com. So you're welcome to send messages there. Love to read them. Love to talk to you. Love to hear stories, especially if there's those of you out there that are listening with your family, spouse, kids.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Any of that. That's some of my favorite stuff to hear. We're a family podcast that's family friendly, so I love that stuff.
Yeah, we were very Urden tree shrew.
Urden true.
Urden true.
We're very Urden true. Yeah.
Urden tree shrew?
Tree shrew.
So
I get so confused. This language is very
anyway,
difficult for me.
if any of you would like to kind of become more involved with the show and see some more behind the scenes and get some more content from us, you can become a patron at patreon.com/the Titan Pod. There you'll have access to a bunch of rewards, one of which is the post show, which we're going to record right after we're done recording the episode. We just record 10 to 15 minutes of
And it's a good time.
just us hanging out, talking about what happened and goofing off.
Yeah.
So you're all welcome to listen if you're a patron.
If you pay,
You're all welcome to listen
welcome.
for money.
You're all welcome to pay.
Anyway, thank you all so much for listening. It really means the world to us. As always,
The world
I'm your
of
host and Dungeon Master, Joshua. Going around the table, we have...
All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself.
Is the episode long enough now?
I don't know. We
Joan.
don't really have to stretch it.
Joan.
Okay.
Joan.
Dolphin Boom Boom.
Winnie.
Holds up his crossbow. Relnor.
Nice. Thanks,
I thought
everybody.
you always did that.